Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am deep into my third trimester. I am so big now, my belly is like down here, so you can't even see the whole thing. But I'm gonna give you a third trimester update, let you know how I've been feeling. Maybe we can commiserate a little bit together, I don't know, but let's get started. All right, so third trimester, second pregnancy. It sucks, at least I think this sucks, you guys. You know, when I like jog my memory a little bit, I don't think I know any moms who told me that they loved their second or like third or fourth pregnancy. I, in fact, was telling my husband the other day that you have to really want a lot of kids to like go forward with more pregnancies after your second one. Because my first one was like a breeze when I think about it, like compared to this pregnancy. This pregnancy has been a lot more work for me. I feel like it's just harder. I've had those moments, like those moments of like breakdown, like I can't keep going. I need to just have this baby already. And that started happening like towards the end of the second trimester. So I've had to go this entire third trimester just feeling really sorry for myself, which isn't like my usual mode. So it's like on top of feeling sorry for myself, I feel sorry for myself even more because I hate this person that I've become. Needless to say, I don't love being pregnant a second time. I don't hate it. I know I've had friends that like, you know, my friend Sharzad was like sick throughout her entire second pregnancy and she had a boy. So I don't know if that has anything to do with like the sex of the child, the gender of the child. I think just having a second pregnancy and then more pregnancies after that just get harder and harder. At my last doctor's appointment, I was talking to my doctor and I was like, are there any signs that the baby's gonna come, like the baby's gonna arrive early or something? Because I feel like she's just coming earlier. She's so low and I've just been so much more uncomfortable this pregnancy. And my doctor was just like, no, it's just that that first baby paved the way for your next baby. And so everything just feels like you just were majorly pregnant for, you know, much longer this time. Like your body just kind of hops right back into it. And so I think that's why it's felt this way. I felt like I've been pregnant forever. People have been even commenting that like, it feels like you've been pregnant for a year. No shit, I feel like I've been pregnant for a year, you guys. I want this to go away already. But yeah, so second pregnancy, you know, and then I'm having a girl. I've got like love handles this time. I feel like I was just so much cuter my first pregnancy. Like first pregnancy, everybody was like, you're only a bump. And this time everyone's like, kind of big. I've definitely gained a lot more weight, like 20 more pounds this pregnancy, which is like mind-blowing to me as well, because it really is. It's like, you know, you guys saw also though, like I went into like just junk food immediately into that first trimester, and I was even worried about like gestational diabetes for a second there because I was eating so poorly. But now that I'm in my third trimester, at my last doctor's appointment as well, they told me that my amniotic fluid is okay, like it's at a totally fine level, but I'm really close to, like if it were to dip anymore, it wouldn't be an okay level for the baby. So they've really like started to push me to drink a lot more water, a lot more liquids just in general. I feel like my body, like what I've been craving has really shifted as well, and it kind of matches that too. I had told you guys that like I was experiencing really dry skin this time, and like my nails have been dry and brittle and stuff like that, and it's starting to kind of show, you know, like it matches up with like the fact that my amniotic fluid isn't like completely high. And so I've noticed that I've been really craving like fruit, and I've been craving a lot of like lettuce and salad and stuff. So it's funny because I've gone from like just wanting all junk food to wanting really healthy stuff, but it's stuff that you can tell like has a lot of water content to it. And I think it has a lot to do with the heat in Los Angeles too. This has actually been like a pretty warm summer. Sometimes we get like off and on summers where it's like, it can just be like a cool 70 degrees all summer long, but not this summer. This summer has been like 80s, 90s. It's been really hot. We've been running the air conditioner a lot. Just felt like really dehydrated and sweaty. Sweaty under my boobs a lot. That's been a big theme for me, you know. This pregnancy also, speaking of boobs, my boobs actually touch my belly this time. It's really sad. It's really sad. Because I am so much bigger this pregnancy, she sits so much lower, it's been really uncomfortable. Like even this position is uncomfortable. What I've found is I either have to like lay completely back to be comfortable, or I have to like be completely straight up so I have more room for my tummy, or just like completely standing straight to feel really comfortable. I guess like being propped up like by pillows in my bed has been really comfortable. I've been using like my sleep pillow, my pregnancy pillow, and that's been helpful through most of my pregnancy, but I just find that I'm like so uncomfortable. I constantly feel her moving. Actually, you know, something that's interesting is when she moves, sometimes it feels almost like a spasm, and I start looking that up, and I guess that's Braxton Hicks contractions, which I didn't experience my first pregnancy, so I didn't really know what they would be like. I expected them to feel more like real contractions, but they don't really. It feels like my belly just starts like to vibrate or something like that. And I was a little bit worried about it, so I decided to ask about it. So I've been feeling those like almost all of my third trimester, which they don't last very long. It's not very scary, actually. I thought it was gonna be scary, but it's not. But she definitely moves a lot, way more than Nikosh did for my first pregnancy. And I wonder if it is because she's so low, I feel her so much more too. She gets hiccups like 6-7 times a day. Nikosh is noticing my belly a lot more. You know, he's acknowledging baby, but he's more like acknowledging this big belly that I have, and he thinks it's hilarious and he likes to try to punch it. So I'm trying to avoid that at all times too, because it doesn't feel very good. I am noticing he wants to be held a lot more. And I don't know if it's because I keep telling him that like there's a baby coming and stuff, but he's acknowledging babies lately, so that's a good thing. I've been like trying to really prep him mentally for this because I don't want him to be totally surprised about it. Because I got bigger, my maternity clothing doesn't fit me very well. Like I bought these maternity jeans that I'm wearing right now. I bought these when I was like 4 or 5 months pregnant because I was showing right away. They're pretty tight. They're really, really tight. I probably will go change into sweats after this. So I'm really curious about what my body is gonna be like after pregnancy. I've started to think about those kinds of things. And I know I should like give myself, you know, I shouldn't be so hard on myself and everything, but you can't help but think about those things. So some fun facts about your third trimester that I learned from my last doctor's appointment. Your placenta is never on the same side, or isn't always on the same side. Like the ultrasound tech was like, oh, she's hiding behind that placenta. And I was like, oh, placenta's over on this side. She's like, no, it's over on this side. I don't remember where she said it was. Actually, my brain is kind of shot. That's another thing that's really starting to happen in this third trimester. I've just assumed that my placenta is always in the same spot each pregnancy, but it's not necessarily. So that's kind of a fun fact. Also, as you reach 30 weeks, you have a doctor's appointment every 2 weeks. And then when you get to like your last month, basically, you have an appointment every single week. I remember thinking this pregnancy, I'm not seeing my doctor as much. And I think it's because towards the end of my last pregnancy, I felt like I did see him every week, which I did. And this pregnancy, it started off kind of slow and now it's like really picked up. I see him all the time. So that's something good to know, is like your doctor's appointments do pick up towards the very end of your pregnancy. I guess like some of the other things that have been really different this pregnancy for my third trimester is I have felt way more exhausted. I do have a toddler that I'm trying to keep up with, and he is like at the max with energy. Like I didn't think he could have more energy than he did just like even 6 months ago, and he does. Like it's just more and more and more. I feel like we constantly have to take him out of the house, but I can't keep up with him. Like we got him one of those, you know, like those little like scooter things, and he's so fast on that thing now that I can't keep up with him. My husband actually got himself his own like adult size scooter just so that he could go out with him, because even my husband was having a hard time and he's not even pregnant. So, you know, so that goes to kind of show, like we've had him like go out in his tricycle and stuff, and that one's a little bit easier for me to keep up with because he's not like amazing at that yet. He gets a little frustrated with it, so we can like stop every once in a while and I can keep up with him and everything. It doesn't go too fast for me. But I've just been so exhausted. That's been like the big theme of the third trimester, is I really have just been so exhausted. Like I don't sleep well at all. The baby sits so much lower from the get-go that the like need to pee and getting up in the middle of the night happens so much more this time for me. And speaking of peeing, like even when you have C-sections, I think people think that like when you have a C-section, you're gonna avoid all those other postpartum issues that you experience as a woman, and you know, things like just like incontinence and stuff. No way. Like I was changing Nikosh's diaper one day and I sneezed while I was changing his diaper and I totally peed myself. So I had to like go change my own stuff. So it's stuff that definitely happens, especially when the baby is sitting so low. Like at this point, like all of my organs have been moved. She straight up like kicks my vagina all the time. I can feel it. Like I was telling my husband, like I totally suspected she was coming early, even though, you know, you can't really tell that kind of stuff. It just seems like it. Like in my mind, I'd like convinced myself that she was coming early because it feels like she's 2 inches away from like making her way out. Like that's how low she's been sitting for so long. And so it's really like giving me this feeling of like, I'm just so exhausted. I'm always out of breath. I'm just ready to be done with the pregnancy. I mean, obviously, you know, somebody reminded me the other day, it's like, they're so much easier to take care of when they're in your body versus when they're outside your body. And that really helped me get through the third trimester a lot more mentally, because it's true. It's like, you know, as much as I feel like I'm complaining a lot for my third trimester, this pregnancy, you know, babies are really hard to take care of, but I can't wait to meet her and I'm super excited. And I guess that's like the thing I keep trying to think about is how much I'm gonna be, you know, excited to meet her and everything and have my family, you know, together and stuff like that. So I keep trying to like keep my eye on the prize and not just, you know, feel so bad for myself for being so exhausted. Cause I like worked until the last day and I felt like I had so much energy my last pregnancy. And this pregnancy, I'm just like, I give up, I'm done. I need to just lay on the couch. I've literally been taking like naps and everything, even if I don't have the time, which is like added to stress. So it's like, there's this like domino effect that's happening. I think that's it. You know, like the third trimester, second pregnancy, definitely harder, you guys. It's been, you know, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer about it and stuff, but I definitely have had like a whole different pregnancy compared to the first one. And it's really true. It's like they say every pregnancy, every kid is completely different. This has been a 180 from my last pregnancy. And I think that's just like, it's very interesting because you think that you know, but it's like, you just don't know. You really don't know until you're like really, really in it. I've had a couple friends tell me that they had the same experience with every single pregnancy. And one of the people I'm thinking about had 3 kids. And she said she was like totally fine through all 3 of her pregnancies. Whereas I've had other friends that are like second, third pregnancy sucked really bad compared to the first one. And that's where I kind of am. I'm in the second pregnancy isn't that fun for me, and I loved my first pregnancy. So you really don't know what you're gonna get. This is what I'm experiencing. If you guys have any advice, any words of wisdom before I pop out this second baby, let me know in the comments below. I'm gonna be posting on Instagram, obviously. I'm probably gonna take a little bit of a break from filming, but you'll probably still see videos because that's just what we do, right? So find me on Instagram, I'm at Susan Yara. You can find me in the fam private Facebook group. I'll leave a link in the description box below, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.